This is your Daily 5 for Monday, June 22nd, 2026. If you have listened to the show for a while, and in particular if you've been here since at least Milla May, then you know I have a bias towards Milla Jovovich films, and that's why I watched 2025's Protector. If you look at the reviews for the movie, you're not going to see very many favorable ones. Now, some of the stuff that people have a problem with, I don't. Other things I completely agree with. I'll just say overall, I probably wouldn't tell most people to watch this movie. Really for two main reasons. Nothing to do with Milla. She's great. Her acting is good. She still appears to be doing most of her stunt and fight work, which is what I was really coming to see. But the problem here is that I think she's doing most of it because this movie has a problem a lot of modern movies do, where there are chunks of the film that are so dark that I really couldn't tell what was going on. And I wanted to make sure it wasn't just me. I know it's not my TV because it's calibrated, but I had my wife come in and I showed her a couple of segments, and she, who has much better eyesight than I do, looked at me and said, "Why is it so dark? Do they not want you to see what's happening?" And I said, "I don't know, but thank you for verifying that it's not just me." And it really is to the detriment of the film, because in other scenes that are actually lit and where you can see what's happening, again, I think Milla's still doing a lot of her fight choreography and actual stunt work, and it looks very good. There's a bit of the choppy editing thing happening, but nothing nearly as bad as what we saw in the Resident Evil films. Nothing anywhere close to what that was. The score is odd, at times very good, at times very bad. I don't even know what to make of that because it appears to be the same person who did the music of the whole film. And it's weird how it veers from one side to another. But nothing, when I say it's very bad, it's not so bad that it ruins the film. It just kind of overpowers certain things and feels a little bit too on top of the actual scene it's put to. But I don't think it derails anything. And then at other times it's very good. So it's a weird soundtrack to listen to while you're watching the movie. Again, the technical problems are the biggest ones. The story, look, it's 95% Taken, 4% First Blood, and 1% something that they tried to do that's unique. And a lot of the reviews really almost give away what the one unique element is, which I'm not going to do here. And it's bizarre to me. Now, don't get me wrong, the movie is not necessarily really covering it up. If you're paying attention, you will likely pick up what the little clues that they're laying out throughout the film. There are these things that if you, again, you're paying attention, I think you will figure out. But for anybody who isn't, these reviews are basically pointing out what the one unique element is. And I don't know why people do that. Just spoil the whole movie then. Just tell the whole story. If you're going to do that, you might as well just tell them everything. Because you've already made the point that it is mostly Taken, the Liam Neeson film. And if you're going to go that far so that people know what most of the story is, and you're going to point to this one part of it that's different, you might as well, if you're going to aim that sharply, just tell them what it is. I'm not going to do that. So the basic story is, well, this doesn't give anything away, Milla Jovovich is a combat veteran who comes back home after her tours overseas, and her daughter is kidnapped as part of a human trafficking ring, and she goes on the warpath to get her daughter back. That's the story, a.k.a. Taken. If you've seen Taken, you've seen most of this movie. Again, that's not a problem for me. We have reviewed many Italian ripoff films. That is not going to be an issue for me. Otherwise, I'd be very hypocritical. So I don't care about that. The biggest problem for me is the filmmaking. It's not the people in it. Yes, some people are better than others. That's fine. That's almost every movie. It's the actual filmmaking from a technical perspective. Why make scenes so dark you can't see what's happening? If they're that bad of scenes, then reshoot them or take them out. Don't just darken everything where you can't see it. And that, I think, is what's going to lose most people. The repetitive story or a familiar story, maybe. But I think that combined with the filmmaking is what really dooms it. So I understand why this movie has the reviews that it does. For me, with my Milla bias, I'm not sorry I watched it. I think she was very good in it. But honestly, unless you're like me in that regard, I really can't tell people to watch it. I wouldn't be able to honestly recommend it. But if you are a Milla superfan like I am, then I would say yes, watch it, because she's good in it. And honestly, if you're coming into it because she's in it, you will get a good version of her doing some good work. If you're anywhere outside of that particular flavor of fan, don't bother, pass it by. Later.